Hey guys, welcome back to Lip Talk, and this is my review for the movie The Tax Collector. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content, and please do like the video if you like it. Also, in the comment section below, let me know, have you watched The Tax Collector? And if you have, did you enjoy it? Don't forget to stick to the end of the video to see if this movie gets my recommendation or not. Holy crap, what the hell did I just watch? The Tax Collector is a 2020 trash heap of a movie written and directed by David Ayer. It is set in South LA with a very simple plot in which David, Bobby Soto, and his sidekick Creeper, Shia LaBeouf, run around collecting payments from a variety of street gangs. In one of these collections, we are introduced to the antagonist, Conejo, acted by Jose Conejo Martin. Conejo asks David to switch loyalties from his own boss, Wizard, to him. David obviously refuses, and this leads to all-out war between the two. Now, let's start off with the elephant in the room, Shia LaBeouf. He was accused of whitewashing his role, right, as a Latino member in his gang. But, I mean, anyone who says that has clearly not watched the movie. His role was clearly written for a white guy as part of a Latino gang, and it's the whole storyline for Shia LaBeouf's character Creeper as he's trying to prove his loyalty to his gang. So all that controversy which came up was absolutely about nothing. And to be honest, whilst a lot of critics have criticized Shia LaBeouf for his performance, I thought it was one of the saving graces for this movie. It was actually quite decent. I really could believe his role of an outsider trying to prove his loyalty so as to receive the honor of becoming part of the family. There is some believable tension between him and the rest of David's family. I also enjoyed the tension he gave the whole movie as he hovered over one of his potential victims, ready to shoot his gun at them. And to be perfectly honest, the introduction to this movie isn't awful. I enjoyed some of the earlier conversations between David and Creeper, as generic as they were. However, this is some truly cliched stuff. Let's start off with the rest of the characters. David, the protagonist, is a boring, uninteresting character with absolutely no development. His wife is also extremely bland, and the acting by Cinthya Carmona is atrocious. This is some GTA 3 acting. Finally, let's talk about that villain. Conejo is as cartoonish as they come, bathing in the blood of an unfortunate woman in one scene as a sacrifice. I honestly burst out laughing watching that scene, and not in a good way. I honestly can't believe that this movie was written and directed by David Ayer. I mean, what happened to this guy? How did he go from writing Training Day, directing Fury and End of Watch, to this trash and to Suicide Squad and to Bright? Something has happened to David Ayer. Why is he creating movies of such inferior quality to his previous interesting and exciting and stylish, gritty crime thrillers? What has happened, David Ayer? What have you gotten yourself into? Now, the first half of the movie is, to be honest, not entirely horrible. Shia LaBeouf pretty much carries it with his electric presence as his character, Creeper, and David go around collecting taxes from a variety of street gangs. Now, mind you, this is all generic, bland stuff, but at least there's Shia LaBeouf to enjoy watching. The real problems, however, start in the second half of this movie, as we are introduced to the antagonist of the movie, Conejo, and it is, believe me, a downward spiral from there. The director tries to paint David as some kind of light in the darkness figure, whilst Conejo as the devil or some kind of demonic spirit who sacrifices women. From here, David and his crew start acting in the most inconceivable ways possible, and the all-out war with Conejo just doesn't work. This is where the awful writing truly comes into play. I expected exciting gang warfare, and what I got was a snooze fest of slow motion. And this is a good time to talk about probably the worst aspect of this movie, its editing. The movie uses a number of flashbacks which truly disrupt the pacing of it and completely remove any kind of sense to the timeline of events. Let me give you an example. So David Ayer will show you a dead body on the floor, and instead of using visuals to show the audience what happened, like blood, cuts, bullet wounds, and so on, he feels the need to show off a 15-second scene of that character dying. And this happens again and again. Does he really think his audience is that stupid? Or is this just pure incompetence? Also, what about that slow motion? Oh, don't get me started on that slow motion. There is one scene where one character is in a room, he's staring at a mirror, and behind him, through obviously the reflection from the mirror, he sees a dead body. Now, as he turns around, panicked, to look at that dead body, the camera slows down and we get slow motion to see his panicked face. And it is truly horrible stuff. This is not something you expect to see in a Hollywood blockbuster directed and written by David Ayer. This is something you would expect in some trash horror indie movie. The cinematography and overall camera work is sometimes bad, especially during the few action scenes you get. You will not understand what is going on during fight scenes, as the camera is too close to the action and the shots are taken at horrible angles. The rest of the cinematography is average at best, with a couple of nice shots during car rides, but definitely nothing that will save this movie. Finally, the most egregious thing about this movie is that, nobody seems to be having any fun. Surely Shia LaBeouf, or at least David Ayer, could have noticed that this was, a trash movie, and might as well have some fun, might as well provide some enjoyment for the audience, but there's no enjoyment to be had here. I think I have spent more than enough time talking about this movie, with mostly terrible acting, bar LaBeouf, horrific direction and writing by David Ayer, incredibly bizarre editing, and an awfully boring premise. This is one crime movie you must avoid. I give The Tax Collector a 1.5 out of 5. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to check out my other movies and video game reviews on my channel, and please leave any comments or suggestions in the comment section below. Don't forget also to like the video if you enjoyed it, and have a lovely day.